City Council member wants to revamp construction and renovation rules in the French Quarter.
City Councilman Freddie King says the rules can chase away business, but as Rob Masson reports, others say strict regulations are needed to uphold the integrity of one of the nation's most famous neighborhoods.
Every year, New Orleans and Company says roughly 19 million people visit the city, with the French Quarter being a top destination. Every change to a building exterior, like this balcony, is approved by the Vieux Carré Commission. It's designed to protect the architectural integrity of one of the most historic neighborhoods in the U.S.
Well, this obviously needs some work, and they're going to make sure that it gets restored to what it should look like.
But a coalition of French Quarter business owners want change.
Sometimes the regulations can be a little overburdensome and just very, very cumbersome to deal with.
District C Councilmember Freddie King has proposed streamlining rules and an adjudication process, which he says is often a hindrance.
What I want to do is make this city and make the French Quarter an easier place to do business.
King says all too often proposed changes in the quarter result in protracted legal battles. But some who have had to work through the Vieux Carré Commission approval process say strict oversight is needed.
I had an issue with my security cameras and making sure that they were within the guidelines of what VCC wanted. But they didn't stop me putting them up there. They just wanted me to do them in a manner that wasn't not too obvious.
While some people say they haven't had any problems with Vieux Carré Commission enforcement, others say there have been some big issues.
There's no sympathy or empathy for anything that we've been through or what we go through on a daily basis.
Alex Fine with Quarter Two Sisters says he and a coalition of business owners went through some tough times during COVID. He says he got behind on taxes, then ran afoul of city rules.
After I got caught up, I got cited for $500 a month for operating without a license during COVID. And it was kind of like kicking me while I was down.
Meantime, he says fly-by-night operators are allowed to operate unscathed.
People selling things out of their cars, people selling things out of their ice chests, people bringing clothing racks down, edibles out of the back of their truck. Why is it that the businesses are always the ones that are being persecuted, always being punished, when there's literally lawlessness in the streets?
Councilmember King says he has no intention of stopping enforcement of Vieux Carré rules. He wants them streamlined, though, and he says his proposal has opened the door for a wider conversation.
It's not a moratorium on enforcement. I want to make that very clear. It's a moratorium on the adjudication process.
King says he wants input from all interested parties, calling his proposed ordinance a work in progress that could go before the City Council next week. From the Quarter, Rob Masson, Fox 8 Local First.